Shannon Procise is the go-to guide for visionaries seeking to create community and cultivating raving fans. She founded the Business Acceleration Network, a trailblazing community for heart-centered business owners who are here to make an impact. She has spent more than 2 decades building an international business community by helping small businesses grow to their full potential through knowledge sharing, marketing, and cooperative strategies. Known as the owner of an exclusive $1 million Rolodex, Shannon has successfully attained over $6.3 million in free publicity for herself and her clients. Shannon has appeared on television, radio, and in the press. She's co-author of the Amazon #1 bestseller, Law of Business Attraction, The Secret of Cooperative Success with T. Harv Eker of The Millionaire Mind. Shannon has also produced over 600 events and conferences since 2001 and guides her clients to turn leads into cash through investors, joint venture partners, product sales, and sponsors. Her clients get results and make money. Shannon lives in Satellite Beach, Florida, and is active as a strategic philanthropist and community developer. Let's welcome Shannon Procise to the stage.
So there I was, sitting on the steps with my father, who was always joyful, so happy, very hardworking, and a wonderful provider, was crying, "Please don't leave me. Everybody has left me. You're my only one that's left." I was 10 years old. A couple months earlier, my mom and dad had been struggling and decided to get a divorce. And at that moment, I realized that my mom took my siblings. She actually kidnapped my brother and sister and left us there, and I was truly the only one left with my dad. Slowly, my father started getting depressed and just downhill. He either worked really hard, spent a lot of hours at work, or when he wasn't working, he started to drink a lot. And he started neglecting those basic needs like family meals, even buying food. And I remember at one point opening the fridge door, and usually we see condiments no matter how the fridge is, and there was just one apple sitting in the fridge. And so at that moment, not only was I starting to grow hungry, I really was looking at what do I do? I didn't have really the emotional tools to be able to navigate what was going on, and I started feeling really alone. And I was only 10 years old. A few weeks later, I ended up getting called into the school counselor's office, and when I got in there and she started talking and asking me questions, I quickly realized that somebody at school had talked to her and let her know what was going on at home. And after that meeting, I never got to go home. They actually took me from school that day and put me into the foster care system. And in the end, I ended up in a home with 5 other foster care children. So many of us face unexpected challenges in life that shake us to the core. And I've seen 100% of my clients that we've all had those moments in life. It's like whether it's a broken home, it's bankruptcy, it's illness, it's divorce, physical health. There's all these things that we experience. Anybody have this here where they've had a hardship? Yes, 100% of the room. And so we may think of these as negative, but really these are all part of life, right? This is just what we're here to deal with. And these are the moments that can really be catalysts for something new, something valuable, and even something beautiful. And so a number of years later, fast forward, I participated actively in this women's retreat in Asheville, North Carolina. So beautiful. And one of the things that I loved is, as we go there throughout the years, they always did this sacred circle. And this was this beautiful container where we could share, and everybody had a chance to share. We could share fears, we could share joys, we could share anything that was going on in our life. And I knew after going a number of years that this was a place that was really safe to be vulnerable and find the strength to be able to share something that was really haunting me as a family secret. Something that I never shared before. So I was a little nervous. First off, these were my girlfriends, peers, some of them knew. But I also remembered that each year seeing the transformation that had happened from the women that were there, and I decided to break the silence. And what followed was so unexpected. It really was just unbelievable that over the next 3 days, 75% of the women came up to me one-on-one and said, I had a similar situation, and many of them had never broken the silence. I was the first person that they came to and said, this is what happened. I have been too scared to share anything. And so this was really a revelation that in the depths of pain, a lot of times it's hidden with laughter, it's hidden with smiles, and we just don't know what people are going through. And I realized for myself that there's a power in sharing our fears. There's a power in sharing our obstacles. That when we become open to sharing with others, that it can be a catalyst to determine, is this something that's going to work for me? Is it not going to work for me? Is this, for me in that moment, it was like, this story I'm doing this on purpose. This is something that can help other people. So a lot of times those obstacles can really be a catalyst for growth and clarity. Growth and clarity. Can we go back one slide? When we're going through it though, it can be so painful, right? It's like it can be negative. I love the analogy of a birth canal. We probably don't remember when we were born. I'm sure most of you don't. But when we go through that birth canal, it's painful. It's dark. We don't know what's on the other side. We've never experienced this before, and we don't know how to go through it. But we do know that we do get through it. We do know that sometimes there's bright lights, sometimes there's a new environment, but at the end of the day, boy, we're more comfortable. It's a whole new world. And that's really what it's like. This clarity that we get, again, can be a way of going, I don't want to do this anymore. This does not work for me. This relationship doesn't work for me. This, where I'm living doesn't work for me. This job doesn't work for me. But also, what do you want? What do you love? Really, clarity leads to power and a greater purpose of why we're here. So we often feel pressured to maintain a facade, which can lead us to isolation and reluctance to seek help when facing diversity. And so Harvard Business Review, they say that 52% of entrepreneurs are feeling lonely and isolated. Can anybody relate to that? And then of that, 61% of the individuals attribute that to the work that they're doing. So this is really a key thing that many people experience. And so a defining moment for me was the economy shifted. You guys remember in 2008, I think it was? The economy shifted, my business shifted, and I had a major health challenge. And my business just slowly started, felt like it was sinking like the Titanic. It was really, I'm laughing, but it was really not fun. I was stressed, and I didn't want to let anybody know. I didn't want to tell anybody. I had to keep that, got to keep going, keep the vision, I'm manifesting here. But in that stress, I ended up having to close my office. I ended up having to let go of people that I worked with and that I loved for years. I mean, it was really a difficult moment. And it was like a dream that I thought I was supposed to be doing this forever. This was my life's work. I've been doing it for 9 years. and that piece. And I didn't ask for help. And the big piece was I wanted to keep generating revenue. Like, I just had this belief, if I tell people something's going on, they're never going to join, or they're never going to hire me as a client, be a client. And at the same time, I was a single mom of 2 kids, and I had promised my children that I was going to take them on this trip. I was getting ready to have my high school reunion up in Spokane, Washington, live in Florida. And on this trip, we were going to go to Mount Rushmore, we were going to go to the Grand Canyon, and we were going to see family along the way, and was super excited. But guess what? I didn't have the resources to do it. And again, I still didn't say anything. And the part that really was challenging is one day I'm driving in the car, and my son was talking about this trip. And he's just daydreaming, and he has no idea what's going on. I'm like, I don't want to put the stress on him, but my heart was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to cancel this trip. So I ended up reaching out to a few friends that, I really looked at them as mentors. One was a reverend, and one was a Zen Buddhist. Okay, it was funny because he actually quoted a Bible verse. He talked about how God feeds everything, including the birds, how you're always taken care of. So in this challenge, I was just like, I'm not feeling it right now, but it was, it was a defining moment. Then I had a mentor who talked about, why don't you videotape and take your kids and interview people, and people can follow you along the way on your journey. And I'm thinking, why would they do that? That's kind of crazy, right? Like, who's gonna do that? And then I went and talked to my reverend at church, and she said, why don't you put a PayPal button up? I will donate. And so at that moment, I took a huge leap of faith. And I left with my 2 kids, no credit cards, and $100 in my wallet on my way, and what we called, our fun adventure, the Dare to Live Challenge. And so there were so many remarkable and magical moments on this journey, but one that really stands out for me the most was I had been actively a member of CEO Space International. This is a place where it helped me take this company nationwide, helped me learn how to raise capital, so many incredible things, and I stopped going because I felt like a failure. Again, I didn't want anybody to know. I thought I don't belong. They happened to be having a members event in Las Vegas, which was divinely right at the same time of when I was going. And I had friends calling, going, you gotta come to this. And I'm just inside going, I'm gonna be one of those people that we used to talk about. We used to talk about people showing up with no money, right? We used to say, oh my gosh, how are they showing up with no money and no place to stay? Like, this is totally crazy. Kind of judge it, and look what happened to me. So we get there, and I am acting as if everything's okay. I'm showing up, excited, and people are asking about how business is going, and just acting as if, that facade. And next thing you know, I see a dear business friend, and we sat down and we started having a heart-to-heart. His name was Ed. And he's, how are the kids, how's business? And I started sharing with him, like, we just did this Dare to Live Challenge. This is what's going on. And in that moment, I mean, he had laughter, we had tears. It was such a bonding moment that we had never had, even though we were incredible friends. And at the end, he said, I'm actually really upset at you because I thought we were better friends. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you never called me and told me. He goes, friends call friends and they tell them what's going on and they talk to them what's going on. And and so it was a big wake-up call. And then he goes, I really want you to go talk to this guy, Steve, over there. You need to go tell him your story. And I'm thinking, okay, why would I tell him? Okay, I just left with $100 with my kids, single mom. He goes, no, go talk to Steve. When I got over to Steve, Steve just lit up and he was like, I am so excited. I've been following you for years and I can hire you. And I was like, and so from meeting Steve, I ended up getting a $15,000 contract there that weekend. He hired me. And then it ended up being a $35,000 client. So it was amazing. The key point being the power in asking for help and being authentic in our communication. So we can feeling alone or without a supportive community can make it difficult to overcome obstacles and find the resources to move forward. You guys have probably heard the startup survival rate for businesses, that 20% of new businesses, they fail in the first 2 years. And then the 45% fail in the first 5 years. And then much like my business that was only 9 years old, 65% fail during the first 10 years. And so I love sharing. We recently had a new member join, Amanda. And when Amanda joined the Business Acceleration Network, she had a wellness center. She ran the float tanks, deprivation tanks. And when she joined, immediately she flew to Florida and came to one of our retreats. And when she got there the very first day, what she realized was that she had an income ceiling to her business model. That basically, there's only one float tank, there's only so many hours and little products she could sell and so many customers. She had tapped out in her business model and really wasn't anything that she could do. So we started working with her and we discovered a lot of new revenue streams. We also helped her set up a new business. And when I say set it up, we helped her set up the systems, we helped her set up her booking calendar. She wanted to get into coaching and healing, and it was remarkable. We also helped enhance her credibility. We got her featured in MarketWatch, we got her featured in Fox, ABC, positioned her into some major media. We helped her hire a team and learn how to manage and work with a team. You guys have a team. That's like a whole new skill that we could go to college on just with that. We also helped her with her website and that whole pivot in what she was doing. We helped her put together her media kit and her speaker kit. She started getting booked on podcasts and radio and all types of things. And then she wrote a book. And what was so phenomenal is when she launched her book, within a week, she went to the #1 best-selling author, and she said it's because of our community. And so we believe community is a catalyst for transformation and the key to success. So let's go ahead and recap here. So first thing we talked about is many of us face unexpected challenges in life that can shake us to the core. We all felt that, right? We all can connect with that. But challenges are opportunities for growth and clarity. Clarity being the key piece here. We often feel, next point, we often feel pressure to maintain that facade. This is which leads to, we can be isolated and reluctant to seek help when facing difficulties. But there's a power in asking for help and being authentic in our communication. Feeling alone and without a supportive community can make it difficult and to overcome obstacles and find resources to move forward. Yet community is a catalyst for transformation and the key to success. So based on what I shared today, you can kind of see why I'm really passionate about community and why I've spent the last couple of decades just bringing people together to really ensure that nobody feels alone, that everybody has access to those resources to thrive, no matter where they're at in their business or in their life. Many people come to us and they call this their home, their family, and our business family. For me, it's like this is that extended family or business family. Because this is the #1 thing that businesses are missing. We're all working in silos, right? We really need to come together. And so the Business Acceleration Network is a trailblazing community trailblazing community. The Business Acceleration Network is a trailblazing community for business owners who want to make an impact. And we are reinventing community and collaboration in entrepreneurship. And so you heard me share basically our 3 C's. This is a part of our business blueprint framework. So as you heard me talk about with Amanda, we've helped tons of business owners come through this same framework. And basically this is the guide. What a lot of members will find is that they'll be able to meet power partners. They'll be able to connect with other individuals there. They'll be able to connect with new clients. speaking gigs, major media exposure. We're now getting people into Business Insider, Digital Journal. There's all kinds of great places that we've worked with people to get into, whether it's industry magazines and beyond. Increase their revenue. We have one recently that said, I increased my revenue by over 65%. We had another person recently that raised over $1 million in just a few months. So the thing that a lot of people love is that they get to find new people they can collaborate with, and at the end of the day, they're growing their business and growing their revenue. So I'd love to invite you to go to our website, businessaccelerationnetwork.com. Of those 6 pillars, we have a video series that dives in a little bit deeper, and you can learn more. So let's rewind back to the beginning. When I got into the foster home, it was so beautiful, and I was blown away to see the sacrifice that these people made. To be able to take in a perfect stranger, to have 5 other children, and just treat me as if they were their own. They loved me, they showed me how to communicate, they gave me support, they helped me really get clarity in what was going on and how to navigate this. They had so much kindness and humility. My dad was so committed to getting me back. It was really wonderful to see him get his life back on track in a quick time. And also, just his whole life turned around, that deep love that he had and what was there. I also reconnected with my mom and my siblings in high school, which was beautiful. We all connect now and do fun things together. And my business, the Business Acceleration Network, this is a global business, and believe it or not, we've just made it over our 10-year mark. Yay! We've produced, in our time period, over 20 major events and conferences, tons of webinars. We've been featured in Digital Journal, Market Watch, and the Business Journal. We've won some awards. A thing that's near and dear to my heart is we have mentored over 100 young entrepreneurs, sponsored them into programs, mentored them, helped them learn about raising money, helped them find jobs, a lot that we do with our young adults. And we continue to make a huge impact with an amazing community of powerhouse entrepreneurs. So what have I learned? We can get amazing and deep love and support from people we don't even know. It's just unbelievable. We can turn around our business and our lives, no matter what the obstacles are or the magnitude of the challenge that we might face. And we all possess this ability to conquer any obstacle and embrace any new beginning with vigor and determination. And all of this can and will be accelerated with the power of community.